think we're ready to go. Welcome back to a stream that's not in the middle of the night. We're trying to do this at a reasonable time of day this time. Today, at least starting out, we're going to finish working on the thigh that we started yesterday, or last night. Sometimes I lose, pardon me, lose track. Don't think I really did much. I think the only thing I did since last night was I attached this piece to this piece, this was the last thing I did last night. Still not fully completely attached. I still have to kind of attach it like that. But yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and start getting going on that. We're still trying to, as the Misfits, get things in line so that we have, we're both the Misfits and another group called Reject Royalty are doing a joint panel on armor making, and basically it'd be giving we're trying to go for an hour and a half panel. It would basically, we'd spend 15 minutes, or we'd spend some time talking about each group, going over the basics of armor making, and have a sorry about that. But basically, want to do in person at a convention what I've been doing here, or on the YouTube. So that's just, it's one of those things it's in the pipeline. I still need to get some information before I can file the application, which apparently is due by the 15th, which I believe is next Tuesday. So trying to get that all sorted out, and yeah, so there's a lot of things going on, plus I'm still juggling work, doing these streams, and I've got a couple of projects of my own. Not necessarily going to show them here on the stream, because it's just, that's the breaks. I'm looking at trying to sorry, I have a tendency to trail off. Yeah, so, but basically I want to do these streams is just try to have a contribution back to the community to help you guys learn how to build really cool Halo style armor. A lot of the processes I go through between using Pepakura, pardon me, going through Pepakura, transferring it to foam, cutting the foam out, and then assembling all the pieces, it's universal. there's not a lot of this process that can't be applied to something else. There's a lot of talented people that can understand and go through freehanding a lot of things. I'm not that kind of person, at least not at this stage in the game. So that's why I use a program like Pepicura, just to give me that edge that I need personally to be able to make this armor and have the template, or not make the template, but basically to make the armor. Apologies. But what if the way I do it? As long as you can get a Pepicura model and can get it into the Pepicura program, you can do any of the things that I do are universal. But yeah, so I mean, nothing I do nothing is spectacular about what I do. It really isn't. There's nothing fancy. There's nothing amazing. But it's just some people they see all the processes and all the explanations and this and that, and they get real overwhelmed, and they don't see that it's not quite as complicated as it looks. It can look a lot more complicated than it really is to do. So that's why I'd rather take a layman's approach, show you the actual process of what I go through, what I do, how I do it, just to kind of show that it's not really that complicated. It's basically, if you know how to work a puzzle or building blocks, and even a plastic model, if you can follow the directions, that's all this is. The only difference being is this is something that's wearable, and sometimes you have to literally manipulate the piece a little bit to get the desired result. But even at that, it's in general, if you can do a basic model, this is all this is. You get the templates, you get instructions. The only instructions you don't really get is what order to do things. And that's where you kind of have to fill that information in on your own to say, well, I can. You have to problem solve. You have to look at the model and say, well, this part looks like the easiest. Maybe I'll tackle that first and move on to the more complicated stuff. Or you could do the opposite and say, oh, this part seems the most complicated. I want to get out of the way first so I know that that part gets done. It's entirely up to you. Personally, for me, I'd rather start with something a little easy, because that way, by the time that I get to the more complicated stuff, I've at least gotten the experience with the easy stuff on just the basics of how to, oh, this is doing this, well, now I know what to do. And, you've learned a little bit more about, did I even plug this? I know I plugged this in. Oh, for fudge's sake. Well, Apparently I missed the hole. But basically, it's nothing about this process is really overly difficult. Pardon me, gosh. Goodness. And doing the foam is actually only just as far as the main process goes, as far as assembly, is almost, it's like a smidge more complicated than doing straight regular pepicura, because with regular pepicura you're literally all the little tabs and stuff are numbered so that you don't have but this doesn't have any of the numbers or anything. So with regular pepicura, it's okay, no, I didn't need it. It really, it's kind of 6 to 1, half and 2. Sometimes with little pieces, it's hard to read the numbers, and that's why it's always good to have the programs up and running, just to kind of give you that visual reference of, okay, it should look like this, and these numbers go here. But gosh, I'm just all kinds of yawning today. Sorry, I've just been conversing with a friend of mine. You may know him as Spartan 300. He's an active member of the 405th, but he's a guy that has a lot of respect for me, because with a lot of the circumstances revolving around my departure and separation from the 405th, he was the only one that really continued to treat me with dignity and respect, and essentially stood by me and said, or didn't ostracize me. He kind of had the same mindset of what was going on, but it's just, sometimes situations like that, you really find out who your friends are. And I have a lot of respect for people that will, stand by me. And when I have a friend that's, going out on a limb and saying something that's contrary to the popular, and they're getting lambasted and ostracized for it, I'm going to stand with my friend, because they had the courage to stand up for what they believed in, and I have a lot of respect for that. I can't spell should. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Alright. Are you on now? Yes, you are. You're getting warmer. Alright. Basically, what I'm been holding this piece, I'm basically going to try to use it to help coerce this to smush in a little bit more. Basically be a support piece that'll go right in here. And just kind of do that, glue it in there, and hope it works. If I can get it to work on one, I'll try it somewhere else, but if it doesn't work, well, I tried. And see, this is where a lot of the just problem solving comes in. Is you have an issue somewhere, and you're trying to figure out how to fix it or how to go about resolving it, and sometimes you just get a harebrained idea. It's like, hey, I'll give that a shot and just use some scrap pieces. If it works, there you go. If it doesn't, you can either keep trying different methods or, the possibilities are endless. But, it's all about innovation and I've always been kind of an engineer. I like, if there's a problem, I want to try to solve it. I want to try to fix it. And if I don't always do things in an orthodox manner. Sometimes I'll think outside the box. Sometimes I'll think inside of the box. It's just kind of sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to take Pep Designer down for a second. I got to do something. Okay, good. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I've been so grateful for the cooler temperatures the last couple of days. It's been so nice. I've never been one that dealt well with temperatures in the 80s or 90s or higher. I'm very comfortable in up to the lower 70s. Anything much warmer than that, and I start getting awfully uncomfortable. And you add humidity into that, I just can't deal with it very well. Right now it's 67 outside. It's a little warmer in here just because it's inside of a house. I'm not entirely sure why is things not running very well right at the moment. Go away. I don't know. Oh well. But it's always fun to find new and interesting solutions to problems. I get a lot of fun out of that. Not everybody does, and that's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame. There's sometimes you gotta learn that this process it's a very slow process. A lot of people think, oh, that, and I'll never quite understand why some people will wait to the last minute to do things, and I'm guilty of that as anybody. I don't like doing it, and then once I get to the point of where I don't have any choice, I'll sacrifice my time and make myself miserable to get it done. But I always regret putting myself into that position, because I'm not going to sit here and try to blame anyone else. If I get in that position, it's my fault. I let myself get there. There's no sense in trying to place blame elsewhere. Now we can, I guess, get going on this guy. Now, I know before I've basically said that with using hot glue and such to use liberal amounts, and I do mean that, but sometimes when you're just trying to get two pieces together to hold it there, you don't need to use a great deal of it. You just need to use what you need, and then you can just coat the sucker afterwards. And sometimes that gives you a much better result. Pardon me. Let's see. I wonder. Well, alright. And actually doing that light coat first and then just coating the snot out of it can be really beneficial, because a thinner or a lighter coat of glue will cool faster than a thick coat will. Well, I didn't want to click that particular link. Oh well, I'm going to ignore that for right now. Son of a mother, that wasn't expected. But that does bring me to a point, especially with using a higher temperature glue gun. Be careful, because sometimes even if you use a thin coat, it might cool faster, but if you put a new layer of lots of hot glue on top of it, it will uncool and not hold. So let's chalk that in the column of lessons learned, because then it'll start leaking onto your hand and burn you. That's never fun. Nobody likes getting burned. Ouch. Okay. Once it gets to, the glue gets to kind of a more tacky stage, it's okay to let go with it and move it around. Sometimes, especially if I'm in some sort of hurry, which it's never really a good idea to get yourself in a hurry. It generally tends to make things worse. But if you ever find yourself kind of getting into a hurry, do what you can to kind of slow yourself down and say, wait a minute, I need to slow the roll and I'm not even going to comment on what this picture is and what it looks like to me. Not even going to go there. Oh, I'm seeing all this wonderful food. I'm hungry. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like this little job did quite what I wanted it to, so I don't think I'm going to try to do it any more to it. Fun part sometimes is figuring out where to go next, and that's part of a challenge. Granted, I think with this, it's easy. The next step I should do is this piece, which is that piece. Just because it's going to go up, and then I can take these pieces, which are these pieces, and attach them, and then I can move my way up to these pieces, which would be the last couple of pieces. So, I mean, sometimes you get the order right, and you can look at it and say, well, I'll do it in this, this, and this order, and a lot of times it'll work. Sometimes on some more complicated of the pieces, you can do that, and then you can go back and revisit and be like, I really should have done this a different way, and then figure out, okay, how should I have gone about this? I need another stick. Stick! You know, it's times right after a convention, or even sometimes right before, you kind of end up realizing just how much you miss your convention friends that you don't see often. You only see a couple times a year or so, and hold on. Panel business. That's not the window I want. I don't need that one. Alright. Just kind of waiting for that to cool off some. You know, I don't know necessarily if brands of glue make a whole lot of difference. For me personally, it can be hard to find, because a lot of people will say, you know, you only use high temperature glue and they never have any problems with going into a hot environment and having the glue melt on you. I've always had a lot of hard time finding hot, actual high temp glue. To be fair, I haven't necessarily looked excruciatingly thoroughly, but for the most part, I've been using Stanley brand. Now, I really don't know when this was. No. Wow. I don't know how accurate this, but according to this bag, the copyright on it says copyright 1997. I was 12, depending on the month. Wow. But I've been using the Stanley brand that may or may not exist anymore, and it's been working fairly well. Wow, 1997. But for the most part, I end up using just that. It's the same brand as the glue gun that I use, but I find it at Meijer, which is, I think, Walmart, but not Walmart. It's a little classier than Walmart, but it's kind of the same concept as it has groceries and it has not groceries. I've never really had a problem with them, and they're relatively cheap. Granted, I don't get an employee discount on them anymore because I don't work for Meijer. I've never really had an issue with them. So we'll see. I can't see how they would necessarily not work well, but you never know. Sometimes using new things can be it can be quite the gamble. I mean, some things, it doesn't matter what brand it is, it's going to pretty much react as you would expect for a product like that to perform. You know, for the most part, hot glue is hot glue is hot glue. You know, brand doesn't make a whole heap of difference. Sometimes, you know, but it's like store brand food even. You know, sometimes the product's better than the name brand. Sometimes it's on par, and sometimes it's not quite as good. And not that this is store brand by any means, but it's what I use, and I haven't had a problem with it, so it is what it is. I don't typically make a huge... Wow. Well, that's interesting. Well, we'll just have to see how it goes. Hot, 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 hot. I don't know quite why I keep acting like I'm surprised by it, but tell you one thing, you get callous to things burning your skin after a while doing this. Although that being said, it never does stop hurting. Yeah. Now, the sad thing in just looking at things is this is not curving quite like I would like it to be. Quite like it ought to be. So one thing I'm probably going to end up having to do is take a heat gun to it. Otherwise I might be able to do a little bit of cheating. I don't care what anybody says, doing a little bit of cheating on something like this is okay. Shaping these guys. So apparently Destiny 2.0 is out, and next week the Taken King arrives. And apparently even they've already replaced Peter Dinklage as the voice of the Dinklebot, which I guess you can't call it the Dinklebot anymore. The Ghost. I don't know. I've seen the comparison videos comparing Dinklage's performance versus whoever, Nolan North, I think it is. I like Dinklage. I like the way he did it. I don't see why everybody was just thought he was bland and this and that. I don't get it. I thought he was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I had no complaints. But, well. Can't please everybody, I suppose. Which, nothing new about that, that's for sure. You can never please 100% of the people 100% of the time. The only time you can always please everybody is you're always going to please some of the people some of the time, and you're going to not please them other times. And there's no shame in that, Be you, be who you are. People don't like it. Screw them. That's on them. They're missing out. And that being said, it's not a justification for being a schmuck. I mean, you act like a schmuck to people, and you're not gonna make any friends. No one's gonna like you. You know, and another thing people have a tendency to do, especially younger generations, they think that they don't have to change and the world's got to change for them. That ain't true. That ain't how life works. You know, in order to do what I've needed to do, sometimes I've got to adjust who I am and how I do things. You know, it's not easy, but I mean, if it's a compromise as far as you just maybe I'm not being reasonable in a way, you know, I can look at it and say, well, you know what, you're right, I'm not being very reasonable, and change. Some change is good. Change for change's sake, I've never quite understood that. People seem to like it though. It's like a little boat. Alright, I'm going to take a break from talking for a little bit, and I'm going to munch on a couple of things. Alright. I muted it because I figured you guys didn't really want to hear me chew. But I was showing you these pretzels are shaped. This one's like a football helmet, and this one I'm guessing is like the football field. And then you got footballs. I just realized that now, and I'm like halfway through the container. Just realized it, because it's Football game shaped pretzels. Well, I'm really dumb sometimes. It says it right on there. I'm an idiot. Oh well. Where'd that go? There's. Alright, I'm gonna go on standby for a minute. I've got to do something. Alright. Sorry. Alright. for pity's sake. There. Hello? Hello? Ah, here. Hi. Oh, I guess I was unmuted. Haha! Indubitably. It's weird. It's telling me I only have one viewer. I don't understand why it's doing that. That's weird. Whatever. Yeah. Right now I'm just working on my dad's armor, the Forward Unto Dawn. Hey, there it went to 2 finally. Feel free to use the chat and YouTube. With the way I've got my setup, it's going to be easier for me to see chat from there. See me. Hey! Yeah, I've got all the staff up there. I've got me. Well, I've got all the staff, and then there's Kenneth. Yeah, feel free to use the YouTube chat, because I can see that a lot better than my Facebook messages right now. You don't need a mic because this isn't interactive. This is just it's text chat. It's not talk chat. It's not a Google Hangout, which is what you're kind of I think that's what you're kind of thinking of, Nikki. Is the this isn't a YouTube chat. It's like the message box that we're using on Facebook, but it's text. Of course, you have to be logged into YouTube. Haha, there you go. I wonder if it only registers viewers by those that are logged in. I'm still figuring all of this stuff out, so I'm still learning. So, what do you think of the whole layout of the screen? Do you guys like it, or do you think I could improve it in some way? No worries, Nikki. I'm not going anywhere. So I've got, those are done, those are done, those are done. This is the back side of the, there. Gosh. I kind of figured if it did that, it also didn't register you as a viewer until you logged in. So I'm wondering if stream views are only counted by those that are logged in. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Yay! You and I are the tallest ones. Everyone else is kind of short. Not that there's anything wrong with being short. But this is the backside of the Shin. I'm not entirely sure why I've got such a drastic angle compared to the model right at the moment, other than the fact that there's no curve, and there should probably be. And this is the front bit. I went to rotate the wrong thing. This is that front bit. So far it kind of is going to end up fitting together something like that. Yeah, something along those lines. But those are the parts that are done. Here's the kneecap. This was a fun piece to do. I seem to have forgotten these bits, but I'm not worried about it. I've got an idea of what I'm going to do for that and to attach it to the rest anyway. Why, thank you. It's been a thing. Doing this live streaming thing, I'll tell you this, it's motivating for me, because if I have people watching, that kind of allows me to be like, hey, people are watching and I can teach things, and you know, if anybody has questions, I can answer them. I've just been doing them at weird hours of the day because of work. So I finally had a chance to do it at a somewhat reasonable time of day. It wouldn't surprise me any, because they have a lot of the same styling. There's not a whole lot of difference, at least specifically speaking about Chief, from Halo Legends, the package, and Forward Unto Dawn. Of course, they used the Reach armor for Kelly in the movie Forward Unto Dawn, so that's kind of weird, but yeah, both Fred and Kelly had had Reach armor and in Forward Unto Dawn, but in the package they all kind of look the same, as styled as Chiefs. Who knows? It would be nice if somebody had made all the files for that. I know that PJ from Headshot, he made the helmet for Fred, and he did a really good job on it. Keep in mind, there's about a 30-second lag from from my signal going out and YouTube registering it. So there's a mild delay. Wonder if it's overviews. It wouldn't surprise me, except for the fact that they put a kneecap on Kelly's helmet. Yeah, exactly. Continuity. What is it? Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and knock 343, because I don't think they've done a completely terrible job. It's not the same level as Bungie. But, you know, for them to be Bungie, they'd have to be Bungie. And they just aren't. A lot of these are so subtle. I'm not necessarily trying to get this absolutely perfect. So my dad's not going to know the difference. He really isn't. Not to Yeah, no, seriously, because Kelly, I'm pointing at my other screen. Kelly in 40 and Done at the very end, she's wearing the cat's air assault helmet, but they put a kneecap right at the chin, and it's just like, that just looks weird. It's hilarious. Where's my Kniffy? Specifically, I think it was the FJ Para kneecap. Yes, I found it. Thank you. I do. I'm always looking for help. I'm like Caboose. There's got to be. Other than going with the Skyrim, I used to be a Spartan until I took a kneecap to the face. Yeah, rub it in, why don't you? Rub it in. I haven't had surge since, gosh, somewhere around 1998. What I wish Pepsi would bring back is Josta. I don't know if any of you remember that. Josta was awesome. And then they pulled it from the shelves because it essentially had all the stuff that modern energy drinks have. So it's kind of ironic. But Josta was the best. I love that stuff. Then there's Crystal Clear Pepsi. I always liked that. Wasn't anything spectacular, but I liked it. Although I heard a rumor a little while back that they were bringing it back. Unless it was an April Fool's thing, which wouldn't surprise me. Everybody's made a real of that coming back in. Oh, really? It. All right, I'm having to educate you. Just it was unique in flavor, and it was essentially what an energy drink is now. But it was yeah, it was kind of the mid to late '90s kind of thing. It's pretty good. I liked it. It's just ironic that they pulled it because of all the stuff it was doing, and basically it's now we have all these energy drinks, and that's basically what it was. So it's just kind of funny. Irony. Really like the color scheme that they used too. It was black, yellow, and red. Which, thinking about it, that's the color of Germany's flag. Not that I'm saying the Germans had anything to do with it. It's one of those coincidental things. dun. This is the Dreamcast so drinks. I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at. I was never much into the Sega consoles, so I mean, I know of the Dreamcast, and that's kind of about it. Once I was big into Nintendo for a long time until I started really getting into flight simulators, which got me into PC gaming, and then once I was introduced to Halo, I kind of stuck with Microsoft. So, I mean, I played PlayStation, but I never owned a Sega system. I've played them, but I've never owned one. Yank. Pardon me. Ah! The last... and this is going to sound stupid. The last really fun time I had playing any Sega game, it was for the Genesis, called Art Alive, because you could do some really goofy... There was one thing, you could put a dog in space, and it was just... I don't know why it was entertaining as it was, but it was entertaining as all get out. So, I don't know. That's the last Sega game on the Sega console that I remember playing. Because I've played Sonic since then, but it was on the GameCube. If you guys have never heard of Two Steps from Hell, as far as music goes, you should really look it up, because they do a lot of music that kind of fits into the... It's basically, they kind of go along the lines of Marty O'Donnell as far as music, because they use they use an orchestra, but they'll add drums and they'll add guitar, and not... Makes working an hour much more fun. Just wish I could talk as well, because it would make... No, I'm completely there with you. I've never been able to... My computer is old. It was a budget build, and that was built at least 5 years ago. And it can't handle things like Google Hangout. Because I've done it with other prop builders before, and it doesn't work very well for my computer. It just does not like it. But yeah, I started doing this just because I wanted to... It brings that level of accountability for me, plus it kind of gets... Some people will... Some people, like myself, even work better in having some sort of interaction, and I work better in a group, and I just never get enough time. It's just, and doing this as help, I never get I rarely get a good chance to do it when people are actually able to watch it. So it's mildly frustrating for me on that part. Alright, well, that's kind of what I was afraid of. Well, you got to use whatever surface you can get. Kitchen floor is probably going to be one of the most easy to clean spots that you could use. It's just a linoleum floor. I guess I did bevel that one. Trying heat seal for the first time ever. It's not that bad. When I'm doing it, I just look for that, for the foam to have that sheen, kind of a nice shine to it. Once it starts getting black, and I've done that a time or two, where it's just like, wait a minute, why is it turning black? Uh-oh, I'm burning it. Oh, what's that odd smell? Oh, I'm burning foam rubber. That's not good for my health. You know, Vern had made a post. Burnt foam still smells. You must be using an interesting style of foam then. I think Vern had made a post about kicking it up a notch in the studio, seeing as Yuma is so close. I'm just trying to imagine him doing a stream. Knowing Vern. Love a mic. That's what I understand, because I guess it broke pretty spectacularly during the rave last, or during Midwest. Really? Why did I do it that way? Why am I so stupid? Derp, derp, derp. Yeah, Vern tried to get me to go to the rave on the Saturday night of Midwest, and let's just say I ended up with I went up to the room to kind of get ready for the rave, and a migraine set in, and I was not able to go. Yeah, I have the dun dun as my email notification. Yeah, yeah. Two Steps from Hell. Jonathan Groves, he introduced me to it on the album Skyfall, and if you should totally look into their album Battle Cry. It's amazing. One day I want to get a video done of us in Spartan gear to their music, because that would be epic. How'd you hear about it? And I missed the rave, because I've not been to a single rave yet, not a single one, and I want to, especially with Vern there, because that'd be a lot of fun. Crust is made with yeast. Yes, it is. Oh. Well, I know Kathy had sent me a message about it, and about Vern saying, "Get my behind down there." And I had said that I had told her that I had a migraine, or had developed a migraine. And actually, Tom, if you listen to, what's the name of it? I think the song from Battle Cry, listen to the song Star Sky. It honestly made me think of Luna. You'll have to see if I'm off base on that or not. Holy crap, you could actually see my face in the stream. It's a shock. Briefly, there was 4 people. If you don't have time, Nikki, don't rush yourself. You can always borrow mine. I'm going to bring it. The only weapon of mine that I'm not physically going to bring is my BR, but that's because I'm letting my dad use it. And I'm going to be handing it to him so that he can, because my dad's only really coming on Saturday. So I'm going to let him bring it with him. I really didn't do this very well. I'm appalled at myself. I hang my head in shame. just no better when I build Shin number 2. Ow! Burn the finger. Burn the finger. Feel the burn. Wow. My encoding is at 144. It's not that far off, I guess. Oh, pain is weakness leaving the body goes well past TF2. I heard that at basic training at no less than 10 times a day for 12 weeks straight. Of course, me being me, every time I heard that, I was like, no, pain is telling you to stop. Saying, stop, you idiot. What are you doing? Turns into Arnold Schwarzenegger and says, why are you doing this? I thought so, because I mean, I have, when I first was listening to it, it was at work, so I couldn't really sit and really listen to it. Then the second time I listened to it, I was doing this and I was focusing on other things. But what I was picking up, it really sounded like it fit Luna. I have to look up lyrics to that song. I think Nikki should bring back Nightmare Moon, but that's just me. That's a good idea. I probably will. Da, 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 da. Well, you know, there's always magnets. Well, that's essentially how I have Spartan Luna. My other torso has the wings. Yeah, and we've got Tom to help. The only problem with Velcro is it's a bit more visible than a magnet would be. That would work too. The question is, would you do it before or after you do your Hayabusa? That's an excellent idea there, Tom. Oh, that's true. It'd be pretty neat if we could manage to get Fireteam Harmony all the way down to Dragon Con. Actually, speaking of that, I was talking with Jeremy, and apparently their little group is threw around the idea because they were in a one-bed room this time around, and there was like 6 of them there. 6 people in a one-bed hotel room with everybody had armor and at least 1 or 2 cosplays. So evidently they were tossing around the idea of putting 9 people in a one-bedroom or a one-bed hotel room, and this is like, that's insane. That is so bad of an idea. And I was just doing some looking at some hotel rooms, just kind of at a glance, and the rates downtown where the where D-Con is at was like $120 a night and whatever. Yeah, but 10 minutes away to the south by I forget the name of the stadium. It was like half of that. It beats me, the logic behind them wanting to do it. I mean, they want to. I'm sure that they wanted to keep costs down, but I mean that's like sardines. That just ain't right. Yeah, I mean getting like 6 people in a 2-bed room. Okay, 4 people for 2 per bed and 2 on the floor. That's not a big deal. You just have to find people comfortable bunking with. But trying to do that many people in one bed, that's ridiculous. But yeah, I did some brief looking, and there's hotel rooms, within a 10-minute drive, that are like $74 a night. Yeah, good luck with that. See, I'm okay sleeping on the floor. I don't necessarily sleep great, but I can do it. It's better. It beats sleeping in a car. Never, ever, ever, ever put yourself in a position to have to sleep in a car at a convention. I've done that. My very first convention, I did that, and that was just a miserable experience. And I vowed to never do that again. So far, I haven't. Because that's bad. That is not fun. Well, I mean, if Nikki could get a suite like that, if willing to share with other people, that would definitely bring the cost down, and you could get a lot of people in there. But a lot of that depends on how willing people are to be in a room with similarly minded people. Because whenever I talk about a room, rooming with somebody, I always try to figure out if they like to party or not, because I don't do parties. When I'm done for the night, I want to sleep, and I don't want to get interrupted. That's just, I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, and I don't do that to other people. I could probably sleep. Yeah, trust me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I've been there and done that. In fact, there's a couple times I've went with my grandpa to Oshkosh, Wisconsin for AirVenture, and usually we'd sleep in his car. I would always end up. It isn't even midsummer. I mean, it's just sleeping in a car is just not fun. Or then again, for someone of the stature that I am, like you, Tom, they're not built for it. Who? What? Okay, I didn't think I did. I apologize. I do things. I don't always mean to do things. Uh, uh, the train absolutely just jumped the tracks. I'm gone. Ha ha! Uh, Tom, don't worry about it. It's if you've seen any kind of inclination of what's going on, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Okay, now you're talking about stuff I just can't talk about. But no, but for decon, I'm not even looking at hotels in downtown, because that's just ridiculous. There's reasonably priced hotels 10-minute drive south of Atlanta that it wouldn't be that hard to drive. You. Why would somebody do that? That's disgusting. Yeah, one of the other reasons I mean, not only is there a lot of Halo people that I really want to meet that go to decon, I have a friend that I've known for quite some time through racing online, and I really want to meet him. And he lives in Phoenix City, Alabama. Well, I'm looking at things like a Comfort Inn, something that's not like a motel, but something that's not like a Hilton. Well, I mean, even at the Rents and the Marriott, you don't have to get a valet. But no, I have a friend that lives in Phoenix City, Alabama, which is an hour and a half away, and I really want to meet him because him and I work really well together, and we built stuff. Huzzah! The production has been doubled. So I want to meet him. Well, maybe this isn't going to turn out as bad as I was fearing. The problem is, from what I understand, Tom, the hotel it's in is all of them are already booked a year in advance. So, good luck. Well, all you have to do is go to the DragonCon site and they should have a map up there. Otherwise, you just use Google Maps and look at downtown Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, that's why when I was looking at prices, I was just using prices now, because when I was looking, it was only a couple days after. It wouldn't be that much different. But you're talking Labor Day weekend, and even the one I found that was like $72, $74 a night might go up a little bit, but it's a lot better than paying $125, $150 a night. But a lot of hotels aren't going to let you book this far out. A place like the Hilton or the Marriott or something. Some of the really big name ones, they would be more apt to do something like that, especially if they're known for hosting such a large event regularly. I need a stick. Reload. Lots and lots of hot glue. Must be in Atlanta then. Like I said, it might have something to do with just if they regularly host an event. It's kind of hard to say, and obviously different regions are going to have different ways of doing it. Have I really been streaming for 2 hours? Holy crap. Oops. Why did I do that? I'm stupid. I did it again! And again. Don't judge me for using Christmas carols. Speaking of random stuff, in reference to me doing Christmas carols, oh, I would terrorize people. Oh, the patch guy for Shotgun will be nice. Maybe we can talk to the guy about Fireteam Harmony. That'd be cool. Do, dun, 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 dun. Woo! So is Danny styling his OD or having his ODST styled after a particular character from ODST, or like the rookie, or is it based on Dutch? Or I almost called him Mal. uh, I can't even remember his name. Nathan Fillion's character. So if I remember correctly, Jane played Dutch. Wash played Mickey. And then there's Romeo. And then there's Mal. Buck! Thank you! I couldn't remember. I guess I'm going to have to associate Buck with Applejack, because that's going to make sense in my head. Just buck it already. And actually, Nikki, I really think that you could go... if you did Nightmare Moonback as a suit, you'd fit in really good going with us to like TrotCon, or even if you could manage it, even to BronyCon, because even the kiddo would fit. He'd probably enjoy it. Those are nice family-friendly type events. Just an idea. Just throwing it out there. Buck. How could I forget Buck? What the Buck? Do 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 do. Why? I really need to get a hold of that guy. I do agree that we should. Yeah, Buck, the ODST, voiced by Nathan Fillion, aka Captain Malcolm Reynolds. I couldn't remember his name, and I feel horrible and ashamed of myself. Okay, I know it looks like crap to me, but how does it look to you guys so far? Who could do that? You could always talk to Brad from Impact Props. He's a cool dude. Made fast friends with Jeremy down at DragonCon. You mean James? He was Dutch. Well, they look worse now than they will. I'm just thinking of shape, basic. I mean, my seams are going to be, especially like that one, it's not going to be as visible later. This one I can fill in with gunk. I'm not going for super, oh, it looks fantastic. It's just, this is the first suit I've done all of myself. Well, yes and no, but given the fact that I didn't cut them out, my dad cut them out, so, you know, it also depends on how things fit on the piece of paper. I mean, the seams on these are going to be unavoidable. This is supposed to look like that. This could have, but the shape would end up being weird. These four cuts could have been not there. These two cuts could have not been there. If they would be able to fit on the one page, these two pieces plus this one could have been done a little differently, but a lot of that's hindsight, looking backwards on it. Yeah, but it just once it prints out, it ends up being more trouble than what it's worth, in my opinion. I've done that. I did the ODS Halo 4 ODST thighs that were extremely basic that I did for Jeremy, I did that with, and it's just a pain in the neck, and I don't like doing that. Well, yeah, and I've done that too. It's just not. I don't like doing that in general because that's just it's an. I don't like doing it. Personal preference. The one good thing is the fact that my dad forgot to cut out all the pieces for the second Shin, so I only have the pieces for the one right now, and he's gonna. So after I've built this one, I can adjust how I do the second one, so make it a little easier. Nice. Dang. So Tom, what's the thing you're building again? And because obviously it's not the Bond villain Jaws, or I guess he was more of a henchman. That's right. Oh, One Piece. I hear a lot about that. I never got out of the 90s when it came to anime, or when it comes to anime. I watch, when I was a kid, I watched Sailor Moon. I'll admit to that. Tenchi Muyo. What was it? Ronin Warriors. I loved Ronin Warriors. Alright. Well, you can send it to me on Facebook. But, yeah, that's it. Ranma 1/2. That was always fun. Yeah, DBZ, I remember watching that. Then I got put on Dish Duty for a year and I couldn't watch TV. So I kind of lost track of Dragon Ball Z and never caught up. I think you posted so DBZ Sailor Moon Attention Winner. I've never watched Akira. But Ronin Warriors I did. I loved Ronin Warriors. In fact, I really want to make the Ronin Warrior armor, but that would require a lot of freehanding because there's no models for it. And like I said about DBZ, I kind of lost track of it and never knew where I left off, so I'd never know where to catch up. And oh, this is gonna not go well for me. I can already tell. There we go. I've heard of it. I've never seen it. In fact, there's another one that I can never remember the name of it. The main bad guy was called Zerum, something along those lines. Yeah, but I mean, anime. I never got into it. So I watched a few. I have a few different versions of Tenchi. Somewhere on a VHS cassette, I have Ronin Warriors, at least a good chunk of it. Ranma, I have on my computer, though I'd like to get it on DVD. Ranma, which I didn't discover until later. A lot later. Yeah, but oh well. Oh, it was Thomas sending me a message. It wasn't Godzilla at all. I gotta start thinking about food. I haven't eaten all day. Well, I had a couple of McDoubles at about a little after 4. Interesting. I could definitely see you doing Captain Morgan. Of course, if I did a Captain Morgan myself, it'd be the other Captain Morgan. And I'd probably just say screw it and drink the bottle. You know, the people from TrotCon never got back to me about the drinks. And I'm a little disappointed about that. I really wish I had an image of what the different drinks, because sometimes I feel like having a little bit of Lyra or a little bit of Bonbon. Speaking of which, I want to see somebody do a PMV of Mambo number 5 with ponies. It'd be hilarious. Either that or I'm just sick and twisted in the head. It's probably a little bit of both. Knowing me. Yeah, I watched Toonami when Toonami was actually good. And Toonami's where I saw Sailor Moon and Ronin Warriors and Dragon Ball Z. And then they came out with junk. I was very disappointed. I don't even know who Stephen Bloom is. But think between 1995 and 2000. That was so much better. Too violent. Yeah. My mom and my grandma didn't want me and my sister watching the Power Rangers, the original Power Rangers, because it was too violent. Which, oddly enough, when I was still quite young, they let me watch Terminator 2. Some, whatever. Oh no, this animated thing with, is way too violent, but oh, this thing where you just blow stuff up, use chainsaws to dig into people, no, that's okay. I never understood it because I always watched the Power Rangers and it was kind of like old Godzilla movies to me. They're corny, and even as a kid, I thought they were corny and cheesy. But Godzilla's rolling through town, blowing up buildings. That was fine, but no, Power Ranger can't have that. Oh well. Oh, another fun anime slash cartoon or whatever you want to call it that I enjoyed in my younger years. Samurai Pizza Cats. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that besides me and my sister. I couldn't even give you a synopsis of it, but it was one of those entertaining shows. Hot glue on the finger, but I can't wipe it off right now. Now, see, Nikki, anytime that you start getting down on what you think of your armor, just look at the build that I'm doing and tell me that you're not good. I'm not good. You're amazing. How's Spartan Dash coming along? Well, I don't care if you feel rushed. Your work's always amazing. You can just compare it to mine and just realize you do a really good job. You do a really amazing job. Don't ever get down on yourself about your work. You do a great job. Well, shoot, in a lot of ways I know I could do better, but I'm still learning. You've got a lot more experience with this stuff than I do, and your work speaks for itself. You do a fantastic job. Hey, just because I'm white just doesn't mean that I'm a crackerjack. I'm playing. I know I'm white. Them white people, though. Why do I do this to myself? I do appreciate that, Tom. I wish I could say I did a lot of my other suit, but I had a lot of help with my other suit. The only parts that I physically made myself were my forearms, the hand plates, the cod, and the shins. My upper arms are built by Nikki. The torso is built by Portland Armor Labs. Not my Luna torso. Oh, I know. You leave me a door to be a smart aleck, and I'll take it. My Luna torso piece was made by a friend of mine that I've known for 20 years. And she also made the thighs and the boots. Uh, and actually, I have to. I have to make new boots and new shins for my main build before Yumicon. I want that drink, those drink lists, or the list of drinks from TrotCon. I want some of those. They were tasty and delicious. Nice. I still think the biggest enemy you had for getting up on that stage was just momentum. All of them. All of them. Oh! Yes! Please! I've been waiting. Ever since we got back, or I got back from TrotCon, I asked about it, and they said, "Oh, send an email to this email, and they'll get to you." And that's been months. I need those. I need those. I need those in my life. Might as well put it in the admin chat. That way Nikki can try them out too. Holy crap, stream time coming up on 3 hours. Now, Tom, do I still owe you a drink from TrotCon, or did we take care of that? Oh, they're good drinks, Nikki. Very good drinks. Pony-themed drinks. I could go to the bar and say, I had a little bit of Lyra, if you know what I mean. Aha! But they're really drinks. But they were good. I'm sorry, you leave me a door for some sort of innuendo, and I'm probably going to go for it. I think I'm taking after Vern when it comes to that respect. Uncle Vern kind of... He's that bad influence that your parents don't want you to be around, but he will definitely... you definitely want to be around him. Ooh, Brad, why? No, I have to hold this, but I have to respond to a chat. No. Oh, Brad, if you happen to be watching right now, I am currently building a Forward Unto Dawn suit for my dad, because my dad's wanted me to build him a Halo suit, and that's what I'm building. I will also respond. Okay. Okay. I don't remember if you do or not. Oh yeah, no, Lyra was good. Bonbon was pretty good too. Tell you what, I'll buy you a drink anyway when we meet up at the Volt Bar at Yuma, just to make sure. We'll see if we can actually get the bartender to make one of them. Oh, they had Lyra, they had Bonbon. They had the peanut butter, which that was okay. I think. Yeah, I had that one. What was another one? Yeah. Once you if you find the pictures that you took of them, let me, or shoot them my way, if you would please. Do. Dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. Oh, why? Why being mean? There we go. Jeremy the Commish. Hey, I'll buy you a drink too. I mean, I'll buy the admins a drink. Excellent, sir. Thank you. Ah, yes, the Octavia. I never got to try that one. I really liked the vinyl scratch. That one was really good. Oh, yeah, you're not being alone. No, there's the panel. There's going to be 4 people, 2 from the Misfits, 2 from Reject Royalty. Um, you're going to be my second because you're the XO. But everybody involved with their group and with that's part of the Misfits are all welcome to be on the uh, or be a part of the panel. It's just the only ones that are listed on the application get the discount on the badge. Really like the final scratch. Well, you did good uh, last Yuma. No, no, you're not. Don't worry about being alone. You're not going to be alone, Nikki. You're not going to be. Let's see the final scratch. That's a blue margarita, basically 1 ounce blue Caruso. I don't think I had the Cheerily either. There's the the Bon Bon, Lyra. Yeah. I think the only reason why you got in without a badge is because we were all late and you were dressed just like the rest of us and they didn't really check for a badge on you. I think that's why you got in. And because I've been kind of thinking that's why I've been saying stuff about getting you a badge. No, and Thomas is right. Stage fright it's a form of anxiety. I hate speaking in front of a crowd. I hate being in front of the crowd. I really hate being the center of attention, which is ironic because I can do it on here because I can't see the people. It's weird, but it's totally legit. There's a lot of people like that. You're not the only one, and if anyone thinks that you're a lesser person for it, screw them. You know, you're a great person, Nikki, and you do a great job at what you do. You're not going to be alone on a panel like this. I definitely wouldn't be trying to arrange it and then be like, nope, I'm just going to not, go over here and do my own thing and not worry about it. That's not who I am. Copy. And Vern's already going night-night. So look, I'm going to be ready to test fitting soon. Sweet. But it does help that I found shortcuts and to make less pieces, which means less glowing. Yeah, that helps a lot when you can. And also, well, doggone it. Oh, I didn't do that anyway. Aha. features which were basically substitute grenadine in place of Coke. Easy enough. Where's Lyra? I'm guessing the maple syrup needs to be heated, correct? Just not thick. Although usually when it's heated up it gets thinner. Well, I suppose, seeing as I actually have an audience, this is the back part of the Shin. It's a little wonky. I've got to fix this side a little bit, bring it in. But, since I have an audience, and I hope, Brad, that you are still watching, you might recognize this piece. I certainly hope you do. But this piece needs a little bit of work. I need the visor that I had in here wasn't a very good visor, so I'm going to be replacing it. And I need to add a fan into it because it doesn't have one. But I need to add a fan. What I'm going to do, basically, is I'm going to take this bad boy, and I'm going to take the fan out of this bad boy. This is the Mark V that I built. I took the file from Pepakura, assembled it, put it all together, and this is the helmet that I've worn at a lot of my convention, or the conventions that I've attended. I love it. I'm trying to retire it though because it's a little too small, and it's just it's a masterpiece for me, and I don't want it to break. So I'm going to try to take the fan very carefully that I have in this one and put it into this one. And if Mr. Brad Thompson is still watching my stream, he might recognize this wonderful little piece. It didn't get the wearing that it deserved at Midwest Media Expo this past April, but a lot of that's because it didn't have a fan in it and it got really hot. And then every time there's a picture taken, you could just see my face right through the visor that was in it. It was a cheap $8 motorcycle visor. But I've got more of the visor film that Stony Props offers, and that stuff is absolutely amazing. It's really lightweight. Well, it's a really good material to work with. I may actually have to take the whole visor out of this thing. Handy dandy visor removal tool. Robert Letts likes my post. The one thing I could never get done right in this helmet, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that I sized it a little too small, was I could never get the padding right inside of it to fit comfortably. And it drove me nuts because I couldn't really do much because it was just scaled just ever so much smaller. I could add an inch to it and it would be better. Oh, it's not even glued in. Excellent. Those of you that have followed some of my personal, or follow my personal page, will know that I did wear this in June, early June. Huh. There's an idea. I did wear this helmet in early June for the parade. Good, I love the visor in my recon. Good luck. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the whole point of a visor, is you can't see through it with flash photography. Welcome, new viewers. But I didn't like the other visor because you could see, I mean, you use flash photography, you just see right through it. And, oh, I don't want to break it. Oh, I don't want to break it. Okay, that's easy. That's Velcro. But the Stony Props / Icon Props visor film, that I'm glad that you see that, Brad. I'm glad that you see that I did that for you. I love this helmet, man. I really do. It's a wonderful piece, and I didn't give it the time that it deserved just because I didn't have the time to get a fan into it. But Stony Props, they have a nice visor film that I absolutely adore, and I have in my commando helmet that I got from Headshot Props. I want to get it out, but I don't want to ruin anything. I hate that. Why are my tools not where I want them? Oh well. Yeah, no, fans. Never, ever, ever will I ever say, oh, you don't need a fan in that thing. No, you always need a fan. I don't care what helmet you got. Always wear a fan. Okay, we're just trying to heat up the glue. So, yeah, maybe. Please, 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 please be working. Sometimes the trick with fans is finding a good place to put them. One of the things that I really love about I really love about the, well, that's screening. I can replace that easy enough. The Mark V is the vents are right on front of it, and they're built into it. So, there we go. Oh no, it did. Oh, and that lock helmet. They're how do you even, where do you even put the fan in that thing? Well, Nikki, the Stony Props guys, if you look at Jeremy's visor, it doesn't have the hex pattern, but it has the same coloration to it. Yeah, I bet it was, Brad. I bet it was. But that visor film that comes in that iridium, gold iridium style, because I think that's what Jeremy has. Oh, right in the front. See, and that's right in the chin. That's where I put the fan in my commando helmet, so it would suck in and then blow up. Because it's not like one of these fans, where it's just a CP or a computer type fan. Because the other one, it has a casing and an exit, so it can blow in a good direction. Brad, do you have any recommendations for fans, or where to get them, or what ones to use? 6s are awesome because of the stuff the fans. That's true, Thomas. Yeah, if you're not worried about the hex pattern, Nikki, get the stuff that Jeremy has. Because he got it from them, and it has. It's just that. Yeah, no, because with the silver that I use for my commando, you couldn't see my face with flash photography or anything, and I love that. In fact, my dad wore it, my commando, at the parade. Okay, no, that makes sense. Just wanted to say a shout out to viewer number 4. Feel free to join the chat. Let's just see. I've always grabbed the smaller ones from the 12-volt ones. That's literally what I have in my hand, is a little 12-volt. I would like to make some sort of shroud to help direct the air towards the visor, so it helps with defogging. I'm just going to have to try to design one, I guess. I just like to tell everyone that all my streams get archived, so if you ever feel like spending a lot of time sitting and watching me be boring, they're there if you'd like to watch them. And Brad, I will say, the only modification that I've had to do to your rubber neck seal is I had to notch this out to get the very back of the base of my head. I needed to make that little notch and take that out of it. I kind of hated to do that, but it needed to get it to fit right, I had to make that little modification right there. Huh. That's a good idea. See, what I was thinking about doing is using like some cheap playing cards and kind of doing it that way, but that works too. Oh, believe me, let me adjust the camera and I'll put it on. Gotta take my headphones off. Fits wonderfully. No, I absolutely love this helmet brand. It's just, yeah, I mean, I've always had a love affair with the Mark V, but this is just, I'll tell you what, if you make a, I don't even know if you can hear me. If you can make a vacuum form visor for this, I would be absolutely thrilled if you could do that. I would wait to put a visor in that if you were to make a vacuum form visor for these. Yeah, I got long hair and it goes. Get off my ugly mug. I appreciate that, Brad. I really do. Hey, no worries. You're a talented artist and you have a lot on your plate, and I respect that, and I'm not gonna sit here and bug you about it. You do you. If you happen to offer them in the future, that's wonderful. If not, no worries. Okay, here's another idea. Oh, don't worry, Brad. I will. You can bet on it. I've been trying to actively post on my my prop page and the Misfits page when I do it, but I'll definitely shoot you a link the next stream that I do. I appreciate you watching. That means a lot to me. No, and the screen turned off. Thanks, Brad. You take it easy and, you know, stay you and have fun. And like I said, I really appreciate you stopping by. You too, man. You take it easy. Okay, what size nut? Okay, so it's that size nut. That size washer. sometimes when I have to use real tools on props, I feel like I'm doing something completely and totally legit. Huh. 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 That's interesting. It's very interesting. I hope I didn't bore you. I didn't. Yeah. Hope I didn't bore you too while I was doing a one-on-one with Brad. And that was much like the rest of you guys. He's one of my heroes. You guys are my heroes. I gotta take my headset off for a second. I dig it. Well, visor situation's definitely done. Well, one problem down, one to solve. Okay, this is blowing out. Yes, yes, Nikki, you are, and as are you, Thomas. Those who inspire me to do great, or to do greater, are always my heroes. Alright, my phone's just a tad behind the times. Well, thanks for stopping by, Nikki. You know, I appreciate it, and I hope you rest well and have a good day at work tomorrow. And I appreciate that, Thomas. I really do. I have a feeling I'm going to need to replace the batteries in this thing for too long. Why do I get the feeling that I... Hey, Tom, what do you use for a fan? Well, everybody's left. I really appreciate everybody that came out to say hello. Really does mean a lot to have people actually participate. For those of you that are watching that it's not counting because you're not logged in, I appreciate you watching as well. If you learned something, I'm glad to have helped. If you didn't learn anything, please tell me what I need to do better. I do this for others to help them. I didn't realize that this was going to be so long. But it's been a good one. I've got to go eat and eventually get some rest. So I shall see you the next time.